Alright, it's Henry again, and this is part 1 of my review of the Master Grade Hi-Nu Gundam. Alright, so this is the Master Grade Hi-Nu Gundam. This is what it's going to look like, snapped together straight out of the box. No paint, no panel lines or anything like that. Looking very, very nice in my opinion. Now, the Hi-Nu Gundam is not really a new design. It's been around for quite a while. Up until this Master Grade came out, it just existed as resin kits. B Club, Vicious Project, and G-System, a few other companies made resin kits of the Hi-Nu Gundam. It was actually one of the more popular resin kits out there, since it didn't have a plastic kit until this guy came around, and then I think 2 years after the Master Grade we got High Grade Universal Century Hi-Nu Gundam. So anyway, but for the Master Grade they slimmed it down a bit. Some of the older Hi-Nu Gundam designs followed the original line art more closely. It was a lot, not a lot bulkier, but quite a bit bulkier. The blue was kind of a darker purplish blue. But overall, the details were the same. It just, bulkier proportions. Colors were a little bit different. And it had some, like, striped gradient effects on the fin funnels and the shield, but I'll get into all that later. So for the Master Grade, they slimmed it down a bit, made it a little bit more lean, went with a lighter blue, kind of a sky, almost sort of a sky blue. And I actually really like it. So, as you can see, very simple color scheme, blue and white. A little bit of silver here and there. That's silver plastic. So you're going to notice those fusion lines every now and then on the silver parts. Gunmetal for the entire inner frame. And they do give us two kind of metallic orange plated parts. I guess they're supposed to be copper color, but it comes off as more of a metallic orange. But those are plated, and then we get clear parts for the eyes and the forehead camera, and of course the beam sabers and stuff. So you are actually going to get a lot of stuff with this kit. As you saw earlier, it comes in a perfect grade size box, or almost a perfect grade size box, very, very large. You're going to get the Master Grade Hi-Nu Gundam, obviously. You're going to get a shield, which has a nice blue and white block pattern on it, silver on the back. You'll get the beam rifle. Despite how fancy the Hi-Nu Gundam is, has a relatively simple beam rifle, kind of like the new Gundam. Get a hyper bazooka. You'll get 3 beam sabers. You'll get 1 in each funnel rack back here, so 2, and then a 3rd one in the forearm. You're going to get 4 beam saber blades, 2 clear blue blades that are the standard length, and then 2 clear blue blades that are shorter, because you got 2 of these beam sabers are double-sided. And next up is all of the accessories for the funnels. You're going to get 12 of these clear effect parts that will go in between the funnels, 2 for each funnel. And these are actually very, very nice looking. They're kind of clear orange and then fade to just plain clear. And they've got that metallic silver electricity effect on there, which looks pretty nice, especially looking at it up close. So you've got those. You've got the clear rods, which will connect the funnels to the display base. Love them or hate them, you just got to deal with them. And you're going to get 6 clear blue effect parts to go in the thrusters on the back of the funnel. It's got a little solid white piece that'll plug into the funnel there, and then clear blue. And of course the display base itself. Got a Amuro shaped base at the bottom, very long arm at the top, got a connector here, and it's got little slots down here that'll flip out. That's where you're going to connect the funnels to. You're also going to get an action-based connector if you wanted to connect the Hi-Nu Gundam to a normal action base. You'll get 2 1/100 scale figures of Amuro Ray, 1 standing, 1 sitting inside the cockpit. And of course, you're going to get clear stickers, dry transfers, and a very, very small sheet of foil stickers. Now that all that introductory stuff is out of the way, let's go ahead and get into articulation. Now for this, I am going to take these fin funnels off because they are going to be all up in the way if I don't. So, anyway, so the head is on a double joint. You're going to have up and down, ball joint at the neck, side to side. You can get pretty much 360 rotation, although if you're painting ears, you're going to want to be careful of paint scratch. I wonder if I can even show you this. Let's see if I can zoom in close enough. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to. Bandai has actually molded on the little blue forehead piece there. It says Hi-Nu RX93 2, and then a little Anaheim Electronics logo. Very, very tiny, but it is molded in there. So, props to Bandai for attention to detail. Let's see, I guess I'll do the Cockpit Heche. It has one of the weirdest cockpits you'll see. It opens up like normal, but the whole collar area lifts up, like so. And then you'll see the little Amuro sitting down inside there, so kind of a strange Cockpit Heche. But it works. For the arms, the shoulder armor is actually connected to a separate piece right there, so it can go up and down. Shoulder joints can rotate 360, obviously. Can go out as far as it needs to. There's another joint right there in the torso, which will let the shoulder go back and forth and then go up until it touches the head, actually. See there? You've got 360 below the shoulder. The elbows bend pretty much a full 180 degrees. And you've got the kind of the, I don't know, I want to say 2.0 hands. Well, some 2.0s have hands like these. Ball joint for the wrist. You've got a hinge, which will let the hand go forward and back. Thumbs on a ball joint. Index fingers on a ball joint. These three are on ball joints, but the fingers themselves don't have any joints in them other than where they connect to the palm of the hand. I've got a little hatch right here, little open for the smaller beam saber. There is a mid-torso joint, similar to the Unicorn Gundam. There's a little latch back here which will open and close, which will give you a little bit more mobility forward and back for the torso. And as you can see, you can really notice it kind of here where the cockpit hatch is going up and down. It just rocks back and forth a little bit. It doesn't add that much mobility, but it does add some. Let's see, waist rotation. You're really not going to get very much waist rotation out of this guy, simply because of this front crotch piece right here. So that's kind of unfortunate, but, you know. Front skirts are on a ball joint, so they can go up about that high. Side skirts are on a peg that are going to go like so. Back skirts are on a ball joint as well, so front and back skirts, really good mobility out of them. The hip has a kind of a sliding mechanism here. So you can see this little indentation there. That's where the hip joint is going to be able to slide forward, and you can hear it, just, I don't want to say ratcheting joint, but it's just kind of locks into place when you move it forward. And in the manual they say show that you can use that joint to have him pull off kneeling poses, things like that. Some of your more dynamic poses. Anyway, legs can go out about that far. Hip can go forward, back, pretty much as far as you would possibly need it to. And then rotation below the hip there. Not 360, but you know, you get decent rotation, as much as you would ever need. Get a full 180 degree bend out of the knee. As you can see, the knee armor bends with the knee. You've got some moving hydraulics here, like on pretty much every new Gundam model kit. You've got kind of a strange piece of moving armor here on the leg. Right here, this piece of shin armor will pop out and it can move up and down. Bandai kind of advertises in the manual that's going to help the foot lean forward a bit more. Although I find the foot leans forward pretty good even without that moving armor, but it's there, so. And we've got a little thruster on the back of the leg. That's going to move up and down just a bit. The foot is on a single ball joint. You've got a little hydraulic down in there. The hydraulic is going to prevent 360 rotation, but you can move it, rotate it about that far to each side. Like I said, ball joint, so forward, back. You can rock back and forth a bit. You've got a double joint down in the foot, so forward movement, down movement. The heel doesn't move, just the front half of the foot. And the bottom of the feet, despite being very, very nicely detailed, also has these, I guess, cleats on them. Got a little silver one right there. The one on the tip of the foot, that one's really kind of hard to get down. The other ones are easier. I'm going to move this guy around like so. If you can get them out, there you go. They flip out like so. And again, you can see that in Char's counterattack where he uses those to kind of, well, not Hi-Nu Gundam, but Nu Gundam, same thing. Uses them to kind of latch onto whatever surface that he happens to be on in space. Anyway, backpack lasts a little bit. The propellant tanks aren't on a ball joint, they're on a peg, so they can rotate. The thrusters are on a ball joint, so they can wiggle around. Stabilizer back here goes up and down. The fin funnel racks they don't go up and down at all, but they do swing back and forth, and they can rotate. The funnel connections, I'll get one of these funnels to show you this, they do have some movement on them as well. They can go up and down like so, and swing back and forth slightly as well. As you can see, the side skirt fell off. But anyway, that about does it for articulation. A pretty well articulated kit. This kit came out in 2007, so by this point Bandai was doing a pretty good job of articulation and detail on their kits, so no more real brick kits were being made by this point. So that's it for articulation. I'm going to strip this guy down, take a look at the inner frame, and that should do it for this video. Alright, so lastly here is a look at the inner frame of the kit. Like I said earlier, the whole thing molded in gunmetal colored plastic. Now, Hi-Nu Gundam doesn't have a 100% inner frame. As you can see, there is no inner frame for the head. It's just, you know, two halves with clear part for the eyes in there. But everything else is pretty much covered. The feet are kind of, you know, really tiny and look sort of like horse hooves, but other than that, everything is covered with the exception of the fin funnel racks. The fin funnel racks actually have inner detail in them. It's just all molded in that white and blue plastic. None of it's in the gunmetal. But the inner frame that we do get is actually very nicely detailed. So you can zoom in on this. Lots of mechanical details all over it, looking really cool. As you can see, you got the little hydraulics down there, multiple layers. You got, you know, some inner frame under this, more inner frame. So just really, really nicely done. You can see that rocking mechanism for the torso there, a little Amuro down inside there, even with a little view screen flipped up in front of him, just like in the movie. So very, very nice inner frame. There's a little ammo pack that goes right there. Underside of the skirt armor is nicely detailed. That's molded in silver plastic rather than gunmetal, but there you go. And that just about does it for part 1 of this review. So make sure to come back for part 2. I'll start off with showing the inner frame after I paint it, and then we'll get into all these weapons and accessories and the display base and all that good stuff, and you'll get to see the kit completely painted. So with that, I'll see you guys next time.